when you want to make a rule for everything, it's hard to be merciful. Okay? Swimming, drowning. I had to make rules for jumping. I didn't think about swimming, but I've always said half movement. And what I read here in Dragonslayer, half movement. Unless subject to a unique backstory, all player characters know how to swim. Who would not know how to swim? I used to rule that dwarves couldn't swim because they're like midgets. The little arms can't. Sorry. I guess like a doggy paddle or something. They were technically always viewed as creatures of the earth, so they sank like a stone. And in some campaigns, dwarves are made of stone. Rocks don't swim. But, yeah. Everybody knows how to swim. How about that for your non-weapon proficiencies? PCs move at half normal rate while swimming. So the best you could do in plate is 20 feet. 10 feet. I swim 10 feet in full armor. That's if you make the roll. If players are clad in armor or encumbered with gear, they may risk drowning. All those in heavy armor have a 75% chance of drowning. I would allow the player to roll that D100. 75 or less, you're dead. Medium armor, 45%, and those in light armor have a 10% chance. 1 in 10 of drowning when you go swimming in your leather armor. Maze controllers may wish to provide a constitution check to hold their breath prior to drowning roll. I would allow that. Con check. Simple con check. Now that is, you are floundering, you're going under. Do you want to hold your breath? Yes, I do. 2 rounds plus your con modifier. If you make your con check. You fail your con check and you've already felt that percent roll. Down you go. You start chugging water and you're rolling a new character if you're in plate mail. It makes those water-filled pit traps so much more terrifying. You fall into a 20-foot deep pit. 10 feet of it is submerged in water. You go in the water. You only take D6 damage from the drop. Maybe even less. I might even roll no damage. You're now in water. You want to try to swim. I'm in plate mail. Save 5%. Now your party has X amount of rounds plus your con modifier to get you out of the water. If the pit didn't pivot shut on top of you. Pretty brutal. I like it. I like it a lot. General climbing rules are 20 feet with successful dex checked, -1 penalty, and -2 if you're in heavy. I've overlooked that, and it does make a note that only thieves can climb sheer extremely steep without climbing equipment, which I would rule that too. The guys always seem to only want to climb stuff when it's like a sheer surface and never just like an inclined cliff face. It's, stuff. But yeah, drowning. I wanted to go over that real quick. I think that is more merciful, more merciless than AD&D was actually. But I think that was I don't really feel like looking it up. I'm talking about Dragonslayer right now. My point of reference for drowning, for any rules issues with Dragonslayer is Labyrinth Lord Advanced and or AD&D. What's inspired by is AD&D. I reference Labyrinth Lord for gear and stuff because that is the system that the game designer used when designing all of his mega dungeons previously. So it does work well as a reference tool now. Careful about getting wet, fellas, if you're in plate mail. I'm just saying, it does make sense. If you armor yourself up and you jump into a water, you may drown. That is why when a landing barge goes down, there are very few survivors for infantry because they are carrying 75 pounds a pack plus ammo. Not even counting your extra stuff you're carrying for a landing. So when places like Saipan or D-Day, when the landing barges went down in deep water, that was you lost that unit usually completely. I need to make some rules about cutting straps and stuff to get armor off quick by ruining it, right? You cut the straps and you get out, you're going to lose that armor and it's going to be in pieces and has to be prepared before it can be used again. I'm going to have to make a roll for that. Is that D3 rounds or full round? Just simple full round or D3 rounds? I'll have to think about that. I did full round in OSE for the one time the dwarf got in the water. Yeah, Crypt thing just started popping people into the river. Goodbye, go for a swim, go for a swim, go for a swim. Game well, game off for y'all. Later.